Well, guys, looks like y'all have already piled in. Whoa, wait, what the? Okay, so I guess for whatever reason, my computer kind of has been glitching out with the media player. Removed everything from my file. Then when I upload it, I don't know what's going on with that. Hope everybody's doing well, by the way. We got quite the active stretch ahead here. So it's about to be very busy. Honestly, it's even kind of, I would even go as far as to say it's kind of starting off now. Alright, I'm trying to make sure I have the right things here. Okay. I don't know why this isn't in full screen mode. But I have to make 1,000 changes. There's always some kind of issue that goes along with it. Hey, what's up, amputee? Uh-oh. Let me move this down just a bit. Wait, where is... Hey, what's up, Mia? So where's my little bit here? I have to keep adjusting everything. It's going alright. Just kind of gearing up for what's ahead here. It looks like we got a long weekend ahead. We have a long week, really. The next 7 days could be super busy in its own right. There we go. Now I should be able to do this correctly. There we go. There we go. Move this up. No. Move this up. There we go. Yeah. I mean, I'm not either. It's gonna be kind of hectic on my part because I'm back in my work season, so it's gonna be hard to keep up with all of this. In fact, I've been spending this last week trying to draw out a plan on how I'm gonna cover this, because these overnight streams are gonna probably really take a lot out of me. So I'm just hoping that I can be effective over this next week or so. But this is our current situation. As of right now, we have two watches here. We have a tornado watch over towards Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I'm actually in the process of pulling up Justin R's media, or Wind Dancer media here, because he has cleared us to show his feed while he's chasing over in Tulsa tonight. We're also going to be showing his feed tomorrow. We also have Patrick Pineda available too, so we'll try and even talk to them tomorrow in particular. But we're gonna have to just wait and see how tonight's chase ends up going, and then we'll just have to go from there. Also, I'm glad you're here, Blondie. I'm trying to get in contact with PA Storm Trackers, but I've had no luck so far. Is there any way you could get me in touch with them? But yeah, I'm gonna be pulling up Justin's media momentarily. So just bear with me for a moment here. Hope everybody's doing alright, by the way. There we go. Well, of course, we'll also get music going. That's the thing, I couldn't message them on X. What ended up happening is it said that their account is not open to DMs for whatever reason. So, don't know why that is particularly, but hey, it's not like I didn't try. Just hoping I can get a hold of them somehow. Yeah, that's going around pretty heavy right about now. My coworkers have been dealing with it. Oh, thanks, Blondie. But yeah, a lot of my coworkers have been struggling with it. The pollen levels have been so extreme here that even I've felt a little something from it. It wasn't like anything as severe as those who are actually allergic to it, but even so, it was just like, wow. Because I almost never react to pollen unless I'm in an extreme amount of it, which I was this week. Yeah, my coworkers were struggling, man. No kidding, boys. It feels like I'm gonna be living here too when I'm not working, starting from tonight onward. So it's gonna be fun. I'm just hoping that I can be useful. All right. So Justin is not live yet, is he? Should be. Yeah. Lock that tent down because if you aren't careful, you might get blown away. No pun intended. That's the sad part. You would think that's a pun. Oh, he's offline. What the heck? No, blame Mia. I don't know why you want to blame me. Okay, well, I guess Justin's not on right now. It is what it is. Maybe he's just waiting for the storms to fire. More than likely he is, because if you look at the radar right now, we haven't had much in the way of initiation. I guess since we have a little break in the action here, I'll ask anyone if anyone's curious about their weather as of right now. And then if not, then we'll go into the discussion part of the stream. Then, from that point, we'll go back to coverage. So if you have any questions about your area for tonight, that's the key word, for tonight, then we'll go from that point. Tonight. That's the key word. The key word is tonight. Not Monday. Yeah, a lot of people's risk is going to be coming tomorrow. So, I mean, obviously, we're going to discuss every day, which is the discussion is going to be a long one. I'm just going to warn you guys in advance. Seriously? Okay, I'm starting to figure out how to control the ads a little bit. I'm not great with it yet, but I have kind of started to figure out the game, so to speak. So we'll hopefully do better with that. Tonight. That is impeccable timing. I hope for the playback on this that they actually keep that. That would be hilarious. Where is Granbury again? Okay, so this is Fort Worth here. Granbury is off to the... No, I don't think it's that way. I was thinking that was off to like the south. Oh, it is off to the south. It's off to the southwest. It could get pretty nasty. There's a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Yeah, I hear your voice. But MPT, it looks like your mom's drive is going to get a little rough towards the tail end. These storms aren't moving particularly fast right now. Let me actually go ahead and look at the radar so we have a proper gauge of the speed and everything else. Okay, so let's get details from the warning too. It's about 35 miles an hour, so about average speed. So right around the middle to latter half of the drive is where things will start to get a little nasty. I'm thinking for the most part from what I'm seeing here, if I can... I gotta try the desktop mode with this soon. I have to, of course, do the subscription thing. There. This is a radar indicated hail, so that's probably going to be the biggest concern. Obviously, with any severe thunderstorm warning, there's this threat of damaging winds, so you have to be watchful of that. If it starts to get a little too hectic, the best thing that you could probably do is try to pull over or something. But yeah, over the next hour, things are gonna kind of pick up over towards the Fort Worth area as a whole here, but it's gonna reach Granbury, of course, long before then. I would see, I would say probably with Fort Worth, we might be looking at potentially 2 hours before it would reach that region. Their threat's going to be over early. Later into the evening, we might have to even watch over towards Topeka and Kansas City. What in the world? Why are my frames dropping? Okay, I was about to say, like, what's going on with my frames here already? I'm connected to my Ethernet cable this time around. But yeah, she's gonna experience a little bit of rough weather. Appreciate y'all tuning in right now. Alright, so let's get ourselves a little bit more organized here, and we'll get going. Does anyone else have any questions about tonight's weather? We're going to be going over all the risk from tonight onward. But if you want an immediate rundown of your area for tonight, I'm doing that first. I'm going to be doing that first. Hey, what's up, Emmanuel? Matt. Yeah, it's about to be busy, man. It's about to be real busy, especially over towards that region. That storm track just really seems like it's favoring your region this week. And we got a lot to cover. Okay, so got the music set up, so once we get the discussion going here, we're off to the races now. Okay. Alright, here we go. So no one has any other questions about their area. Yeah, I feel that. I'm kind of the same way, unless it's messing with my work, which unfortunately this one is, so I am somewhat crying, I can't lie. I'm probably gonna be missing work Monday because of this storm system that's coming through. So I can't lie, I'm actually crying a little bit because of that. So there's that. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can switch over to the small feed here. Okay, boom. Alright, folks, as you can see on the screen, we have some trouble on the way. We have quite a few storm systems. We have quite a few severe days and a couple of storm systems in the mix here, and potentially more even beyond that point. So we're gonna have our hands full here on the channel. There's gonna probably be a lot more in the way of live discussions in the future, more so than forecast videos, as a result of how busy we're going to be. You shrink this a little bit so that way you can see everything. But here we go. We have tonight with a slight risk, Saturday with an enhanced, Monday with a slight risk with a potential for it to go up to enhanced. I think that potential is kind of low though still. Then Tuesday there's another slight risk and an enhanced risk on Wednesday. Living in the fast lane basically. Oh, you have a new update from WeatherWise? I was hoping that I would have had time today to start start my subscription, but I needed to unwind. I've been doing members only videos to go along with these regular videos as well. I'm out here basically trying to keep everybody happy, so I have my hands full, put it lightly. So That's if I seem a little off, a little tired, I am, but I'm still here. I haven't even gotten the model data up or anything like that. So, definitely not at the top of my game. Yeah, I remember you telling me that the last stream. So I'm really excited to actually uh, get immersed into the app here. I'm not beating myself up. I'm just saying I'm tired. Because I mean, between this and work, it's been tough. But here is what we have for today. This slight risk has actually grown considerably now. We're actually extending this down into central Texas even at this point. We have Kansas and Jefferson City now included in this same slight risk. Originally, when we had talked about this in Discord, it was two different areas that we had. We had Dallas and this region here in the slight risk. This is mainly for hail, by the way. Could even see some pretty large hail out of this as well. And then there's a wind threat over towards the Tulsa region all the way into Springfield. Tornado threat, however, has been mainly based over towards Oklahoma City, Norman, and Tulsa right now. I don't know how far on board I am with this tornado threat. I would go as far as to say that it's conditional. It does seem like that chances are a little bit higher. Supercells do seem like they're possible. We just need them to initiate. So, might be a pretty busy night tonight. I don't expect this one to be a long stream, however, though. Now, the big day is tomorrow. Here's what we got going on with the big day. There is a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes. So, within this region, we could see tornadoes of EF2 strength or greater, or significant tornadoes. So, within this 10% area, you definitely need to be on your P's and Q's here. So basically, from anywhere east of Little Rock all the way over towards Greenfield, Mississippi, all the way up towards the Kentucky, Indiana line. So that even includes Louisville. I'm trying to think of, I think Evansville, Indiana is in this, if I'm correct. Yep, Evansville is in it. Evansville is a point of interest as well. And then even in the 5 and 2% areas, you still need to be on your guard. Oh, Christine, you're in Bloomington? Let me actually go ahead and look that up here. Like I said, with this whole new setup that I got, it's a bit challenging to try to figure out where everything is. I'm still adjusting to it. Yeah, it looks like Bloomington is going to be like right on the edge of that risk. I can actually look at it on here too, so let me go ahead and do that. Day 1, here's day 2. Yeah, Bloomington's in that 10% area, so area is just a little bit over, as far north as maybe Martinsville. Well, anywhere south of Martinsville is in that 10% risk at this point from the looks of it. So, and then also you have to remember that if you are in these outlook areas, there's actually like a 25-mile rule that we go by here. So if you're within 25 miles of that enhanced risk area, then technically it still applies to you. It's kind of weird how it works, but the rule technically is within 25 miles of a given point. If you're within a slight risk or enhanced risk, that does include your area, because there's always that little bit of variance. These storms can travel over state lines, so same can be said for these risk outlines as well. So treat it like you're in an enhanced risk, even if you aren't in an enhanced risk. Kind of weird to say that, but you're still in that 5% area too, so the 5% is usually not a slouch either, especially when there's decent confidence, which there kind of is in this case. There are some fail parameters which we'll be going over a little later. To go along with that tornado threat, here is a wind threat. We have our 30% area, which covers the entire enhanced risk region. Most of this is hatched, so we will have to be on watch for wind potential to be above 70 miles per hour or greater. What? You can't super chat. You made some soft boy cry. That sounds like you. Uh, for tonight, Darian, you do have to be watchful. Right now, you have nothing going on the radar, which is good. The good news, but that tornado watch will be in effect for a good chunk of the evening here. It's going to be expiring within the next 5 hours, so might be a little bit of a late one. I'd say within the next 3 hours, we probably would see some activity. There's always that chance that it may not verify, which is honestly best case scenario. So I would just be extra watchful tonight. After that, though, you're good for a little bit at least. As far as the wind threat for tomorrow is concerned, this big area where we have that 30%, and if there's going to be any upgrade to moderate risk, I would say it would be for the damaging wind threat. And I would say it would be more so for this northern mode than the southern mode or the quad state region. Over towards the Ohio Valley seems like it's most prime for both damaging winds and tornadoes, but I think that with the convective mode, we're going to end up seeing a lot of line segments, maybe even some bow echoes coming into play here. Euro in particular has been kind of showing that a lot, so something to keep an eye on also. The western end of the enhanced risk is where our large hail threat will be most prominent. Here's a hatch risk to go along with that. I don't expect much of an upgrade with this here, but we could have some widespread large hail throughout the day tomorrow, so could be a lengthy stream with that. But yeah, it definitely seems like you might be in line for some damaging winds if nothing else. You're on the cutting edge of being within that 25-mile area for the enhanced tornado threat here, but you're still in the 5 manual, so you got to be careful. I do have Cash App, by the way, if you really just want to donate. I wouldn't sweat it, though, truthfully. I'm not all that concerned about it. Then, this is where even I get into the mix here. This is the day 3 outlook, and they've stretched this out a little bit and also kind of pushed it back west. Yesterday, when I looked at this when it was day 4, they even included Boston. They've now taken them out of the area, so unfortunately, some buddies of mine that live in Boston, aka in contingents, unfortunately, severe weather doesn't seem to be possible for you because they're looking for a tornado. Because he's looking for a tornado, but that's not really the place to find it. But all joking aside, though, anywhere within this slight risk region could see some significant severe weather at times. I wouldn't be surprised to see the slight risk with a hatch risk for damaging winds, especially with this northern mode. Oh, so here, I think you type in !point donate. I think that's how you would do it. Maybe I had it in there, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you did? Oh, I don't really have Kick right now. I have too much. I have too many apps on my phone. Oh, there it is. I might have changed the Cash App tag though, or the cash tag. So, if it doesn't work, just let me know. I'd love to change. I'd love to go to Kick, but I just have no space on my phone. I have my Discord server. I'm trying to set up weather-wise, and then I'm also a musician. I have apps for chord progressions, music theory, etc. on there, along with just general stuff that I would need for content creation. So yeah, got my hands full on there. I need another phone or a tablet or something in order to have Kick. But let's get into day 3 here. Hope you're paying attention, Mia, because this is where we start talking about your area. I'm sorry you're nervous. Yes, I will be live, more than likely, because, well, I'll be probably rained out of work at this point. Because based off the way the models have looked over the last few days, I have not a chance of making it on Monday, so I will be live. Unless the storms just pop up at like 2 a.m. and I'm just like dead tired from Sunday. That's the only way I could see it to where I would miss this at this point in time. Also, thank you for the 5, by the way. But yeah, I'll be here. More than likely, I will be here. No problem. I'm glad you feel like you can count on me. That's what we're here for. Into Monday's slight risk though, from New Orleans all the way through the Florida Panhandle up towards the eastern seaboard. A lot, a lot of severe weather expected, mainly widespread damaging winds at this point. Oh shoot. Okay, I guess you could do super chat. Jesus Christ, Emmanuel. Holy cow, man. Thanks for the 20. I'm you guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yep. Oh, that's my yeah, I think that's the new cash tag. I got to go into Streamlabs and adjust that. In time I will, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Oh, I'm trying to get that weather. I can get weather-wise. The issue is though, it's just I ran out of time. I needed a little bit of time to unwind, and I was actually playing zombies, and then before I knew it was like 8:50, I was like, oh crap, I gotta set up for this stream. So yeah, that's kind of my fault. I didn't think the match would take over an hour, but yeah, I actually had to save and quit, which is something I've never had to do before. Oh, speaking of which, back to the weather side of things also. Nah, I was just trying to unwind because when I see these like 5 day stretches or more of severe weather, I'm like, whew. Because between work and doing this, and then also I'm cooking up some stuff that there's a secret sauce to it that I can't tell anyone about right now. I'm really excited to unveil some of that stuff when the time comes. It's for this channel and for the metalhead part of Ty Metalhead Weatherman too. So hope you look forward to that. Anyway though, speaking of which, going to tonight's weather right now, we even have severe thunderstorm warnings on the Iowa and Nebraska line now too. Yes, thank you all for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. I love getting the opportunity. I loved having the opportunity to do this, and I hope that I can keep doing this for however long as I can. If I can do this full time, then that would be incredible. Okay, we're also seeing the first signs of storm initiation over here towards the Texas-Oklahoma line. So, going to be starting to pay a little bit closer attention to OKC. Anyway, let's try to race through this discussion as fast as I can, because at some point we're probably going to be switching over into coverage mode entirely. But for Monday, we're mainly expecting a linear mode to take place here. I do have some questions about the southern mode over here between Columbus, Dothan, maybe even Mobile, where some supercells could be possible. Some embedded activity also was possible over towards the northern sector, which would include Binghamton, Scranton, maybe even Philly, as well as DC and Baltimore here. Then we go to day 4. I wouldn't count on it, total domination. Right now, you're quiet, but give it time. It looks like you're under a mesoscale discussion, and with that, storms haven't fired just yet. There's a little bit of activity to your south. Eventually, I'm expecting it to pick up. As we get to day 4, also this is another day you need to be watching now. Total. This is gonna be, I think it's Tuesday, if I remember correctly. Days already blurring together. I'm gonna be streaming probably day after day. But all foolishness aside though, Tuesday looks like another day for severe weather. I would say with this one, from what I've been seeing off model data the last day and a half, this has been more of a damaging wind, isolated hail threat, more so than anything else. But as we know, these little small areas, you have to watch these really close. They can uptrend really quickly, and then you can suddenly have a tornado threat here. From these dinner time models alone, it could very well have uptrended even. We get towards day 5, look at what we have here. Yet another enhanced risk. And I would almost be willing to bet at this point that we're going to have a subsequent threat for day 6, even though it hasn't popped up yet. By the time we get in tomorrow, we'll probably see another day 5, most likely, as a result. If not, at least a subsequent overnight threat. So, very busy over here on the channel. This is what we do, though, so we will be here for as much of it as we can. PA storm trackers? Oh, shoot. Okay, so, well, I'll get to them as soon as I can. But anyone that's in the enhanced risk, and Emmanuel, welcome back. Here you go. You're back in it again. So you have this enhanced risk here. I'm not quite as clear on exactly what the hazards could be. I do think it's kind of going to be a rerun of this upcoming weekend. Tornadoes are possible along with damaging winds. Same thing for areas over towards Louisville, Bowling Green, Evansville. This even makes its way over towards St. Louis as well. Little Rock, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, and also Nashville. If Isaiah was in here, he'd be excited because this even includes his area. Isaiah is one of my mods, by the way, to any of you that are somewhat new. But you're not in the area of interest tomorrow. You're good. You're in the pocket like Peyton Manning. Love the reference. Man, that dude was freaking goated when it came to football, man. Sheesh. Well, all right. Oh, for Monday. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean there. Well, all right. Here we go. So we're going to start out taking our time for Monday. He's definitely one of them. You can make an argument for him, that's for sure. Can't deny it. Built Lucas Oil. Alright, so here we go, guys. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you can see everything. Alright. So, I'm going to be taking this day by day here. We're going to start with tonight. And, I mean, it's pretty easy to see what's going on here. This right here is our trough. This is going to be our catalyst for severe weather over the next couple of days here. Well, tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be kind of weird how Monday ends up kind of setting up. As we get later into Sunday night, you'll see it a little bit more clearly. But you can already see that we even have short waves up into the mid to upper levels here. Some of you that ended up catching that discussion on Discord, you kind of know what I'm talking about now. So we go frame by frame here. This is a pretty pretty much I would say a mid-range, mid-grade amplitude trough. So as a result, these storms will probably be able to hold their intensity through the evening for the most part. Eventually, I would expect an MCS to develop over towards Arkansas and Missouri early in the day. And then we'll watch this head out and head into the Ohio Valley here and the northernmost parts of the Midwest. This is where I would expect our storm initiation to occur here, right around like mid-afternoon, I would say. Then by the time we get late into the evening, this is where we start to see that southern mode coming into play here. It's almost kind of like a reinforcing trough comes in, and this is where things start to get kind of juicy for them in regards to the details. You see those short waves popping up there, and then this threat manifests more so into the early morning and early afternoon hours for my area. Again, this is kind of what's going to screw me over on work, but this will also probably allow me to be here for the live stream on Monday, because more than likely I may just stick with the overnight stream and just go from that point. It could be a long 10-15 hour stream, who knows. We'll make sure we record all of it though, so that way even if YouTube goes with only the 12-hour run, we'll have our own version here. But this is as far as I can go with the HRRR as of right now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and backtrack again and mainly get a hammer down on tonight first. So we're not, obviously we aren't going to have to really go all that far. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the mid-levels next. And this is where those short waves really kind of pop up at this point, especially as we get into the overnight. I would say sometime after midnight, especially between 12 and 3 a.m. is when that MCS is really going to start to kick in at this point. Then by the time we get into the early morning, we see maybe a little bit of morning activity over here towards Illinois, but it looks like it clears out pretty quick. By the time we get into early afternoon, we start seeing parameters start to come into place here. Like I said, mid-afternoon, I think that northern mode starts to take off. It could even be early afternoon. The short waves aren't evident at this point, though. They're there, but they aren't amped up like we were looking at the 500 range. So the timing for the northern mode may be variable. One thing I'm pretty confident in is this southern mode popping up as we get towards maybe like midnight and beyond here. So I think if we're going to be dealing with a tornado threat, this most likely, unfortunately, will be nocturnal. So I'm going to have to put extra emphasis on this region here. So I'm kind of debating just how I'm going to approach the stream tomorrow. But whatever it is, we'll figure it out. As we get later into the evening and into the overnight hours here, you can see what I would expect to be a line of storms kind of popping up here based off of the short wave that comes in here towards this region. You can see the winds kind of backing it as well. So these could be storms that'll be racing about 50, 60 plus miles an hour, possibly over here towards Mississippi, heading into Alabama. Eventually, we start to see that line most likely expand into Georgia by the early morning into mid-morning hours. And then by early afternoon, we start to see this clear out. And then, like I said, the question really remains with that northern mode, which I think is going to kick in later into the day. So areas like Virginia, over towards West Virginia, and also Pennsylvania, which would include Philadelphia as well, I would be watching you guys with more interest in the afternoon. I would expect a lot of your activity to occur then. Alright, then of course, here we go looking at the low-level jet. Lower level jet is going to be where our best tornado ingredients come together. With this, you always want to look for a cross section between those upper level winds, the mid level winds, and of course the lower level winds. Reason why I'm not sold on tonight's tornado threat in large part is because of the lack of low level jet that we see starting out. As we get later into the evening though, especially as we get closer towards midnight, that's where things start to get a bit interesting. You start to see this little wind maximum kind of popping up here, where we get even up to 50 knots in low level jet here. So if we can get something to initiate a little bit later into the evening and we have a decent bit of instability, that's all it will take. Then of course we'll watch that low level jet race off to the northeast. Northern mode comes into play potentially early as a result of this as well. And then by the time we get later into the evening, we see this kind of peak a bit. Then the southern mode starts to take over from this point here. We start to see that wind maximum pop up. I do think if we get a strong to violent tornado corridor, it will most likely be over towards Tennessee and Kentucky at this point. I would kind of shift my original forecast just a little bit off to the east at this juncture, based off all the parameters I've seen so far. Keep in mind we still have more to look at. See that low level jet continue to sustain itself as we go throughout the day here for the deep south, and then eventually we start to see the activity beginning to occur over here towards West Virginia, eastern Ohio, and then heading into Pennsylvania and Virginia by the time we get towards mid-afternoon from the looks of it here. We still have 5 hours left to go, so still a lot of blanks being drawn there. So let's go ahead, get a look at our warm sector here, and the best way to look at that is by looking at our dew points. I really would not be surprised to see the moisture make it all the way up into even Michigan at this point. Because at one point, because I still think that the slight risk is actually there, if I'm being honest. I thought I saw Detroit at one point being implemented in the slight risk as well. I don't. Let me go check that real quick. Let me actually check that. Yep, they are still in that slight risk. For a moment, I thought they had shrunk that. They had cut back that slight risk a little further off towards the north, but they've maintained it. But anyway, we'll go back to tonight real quick just so you guys can see the moist sector here. So what interests me most about tonight's setup, by the way, is this dry line that kind of pops up here. You can see the little gradient that pops up here in the blue. We have those 61 degree dew points on the edge of this. Then we go back further. We go from 61 up towards about 44 all the way back to 39. So pretty extreme drop off, about 20 degrees in dew point. That's saying a lot. Then into the afternoon, you can see that warm sector begin to kind of build, and it even makes its way into central parts of Michigan now. So if anything, we might see an expansion of that slight risk northward now. Then these regions over here towards Mississippi, you can already see the moisture kind of building, and it's going to continue to build throughout the day. So as we get into the overnight, there's going to be an ample warm sector to work with for these storms. So that's a big part of why they're going to be able to sustain themselves into the overnight here. So this is probably going to be one of those high shear, low cape instances for the southern mode. Northern mode might be a little bit similar, with the sweet spot maybe being over towards this quad state region and areas further off towards the east. So we'll keep it kind of short and sweet on the short range here. We're going to go ahead and look at our mixed layer cape. We'll still get a good idea of the surface as well. In fact, actually, I'm going to go ahead and actually go by surface cape and add the hodeographs in so we can keep things moving along here. And this is a big part of why I think that tornado threat still remains for Oklahoma right now. This is due in large part to the amount of instability that we have available. The question that I have, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be too much of an issue here, is can we maintain that LLJ, and will there be a cap that builds in as we get later into the evening? Well, there's our answer. We do have a little bit of capping that tries to pop in, but if by some chance we had a storm that already fires towards this evening, there's actually a pretty good ceiling for tornado potential. This veer back is not great for the storm, but if you look at this loop from the 0 to 3 range, that almost would even pass for violent tornado parameters here. So again, that's why I'm saying that Oklahoma right now is, we're going to have to pay extra close attention to that. Like just right now, the low level winds just really aren't coming in like you would look for when it comes to tornado genesis. But as you get later into the evening, that's when that threat starts to become ominous. Oh my goodness, Emmanuel, don't start that. Don't start that. I'm interested in this little section here off to the east. I do see some veer back over here as well. Let's try Tulsa again. We have one of our guys out here chasing. Does look like there's a little bit of inhibition here, probably some capping involved, but I don't know if it would be enough to stop anything if this storm gets fired up here. Because the thing with inhibition and any sort of capping inversion is it'll stop storms from forming at the surface, but because storms actually, fun fact, they form from the surface up. The thing is though, once these storms start firing, that inhibition, it can hamper storms, but it never really stops them. Once a storm forms and it goes over a cap, the cap can sometimes be almost rendered irrelevant. And this isn't a strong cap, so this might be one of those examples here. If anything were to form, that's the key word, and that's why it's a conditional risk. If there was more confidence in this, I would actually go as far as to say that they would probably have gone with the enhanced risk over towards Norman or Tulsa. Now let's get into Sunday here. And this is the conditional part of that severe threat here, especially the tornado threat up towards the northern regions. hence why we have that 5% a little further off towards the north. It's mainly due to the amount of instability that we have here. We have enough. Kinematics don't really come into play till late, but by that point we might be dealing with a pretty stout line of storms here. You can see it in that previous scan here. We have a good setup here, but the lower level winds just aren't really all that impressive, especially when it comes to the directional shear. Directional shear is kind of lackluster as we get higher up into the atmosphere. That surface to 3 kilometer range, just not really up to par in regards to what we would need. So this is again kind of why I'm leaning into that damaging wind threat a little bit more than I am the tornado threat towards the northern states. By the time we get later into the evening, especially over towards parts of Illinois into Indiana, I think we're about done then. I'm trying to see if there's any point within the early morning hours in which the parameters looked better for tornado genesis, and just don't really ever see it. So let's go ahead and look back over towards the southern mode here. It's kind of the same story. Good instability, actually great instability here. We're even near an explosive environment by this time frame in the early afternoon, but you can just look at the hodeographs and you can tell that kinematics just aren't really favorable when it comes to tornado genesis right now. The cloud bases are a little bit elevated to go along with it. Lapse rates aren't good, but these are going to build in over time. So of course, as I mentioned before, as we get later into the evening, that's when that cape really starts to ripen up towards the deep south. And we see this kind of being pulled up north against that frontal boundary, so this is where we start to see that line of storms begin to really ramp up now. And then here is where we start seeing our torr soundings as a result. Some capping still could come into play, so I do believe that supercells are going to be possible starting out, especially over towards northwestern Mississippi, maybe over towards Arkansas, maybe even over towards the Delta itself. But again, it seems like it's somewhat of a conditional threat here as well. We'll look at this mode here again, and that's where we have some really good shear profiles here. This is probably one of the better soundings I've seen so far. You get any storms to develop here, this could be a problem ahead of that main line. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the day for Monday. Like I said, instability kind of drops off a bit, and that's kind of the fail parameter for a lot of the southern mode for Monday. And then we get towards South Georgia and southeastern Alabama, Florida Panhandle. This is where we get that recovering air mass. And then with that, if we can get decent kinematics, there is a tornado threat that does exist with that. I don't think it's going to bear any significance. I think damaging winds and hail will probably take over as the main threats. In particular, I'm thinking damaging winds at this point. Lapse rates don't seem like they're all that favorable for hail at this time with all the shear that we have at the lower levels. Then a little bit later, that's where we start to see that northern mode coming into play. We see a little bit of instability over here towards Virginia. About 1,000 joules per kilogram, sufficient enough. As far as the tornado threat itself goes, looks like it's relatively low, if not non-zero. Mainly due to the fact that the lower level winds, the shear is just low. We're at about 12 here on the shear parameter. You would really look for something along the lines of like 20. You could probably even get away with 17, but once you get towards 12 and below, you're really kind of struggling to get anything going. Lapse rates are not all that steep at this point. We're at 6.4, 6.5. Any uptrend will help increase that tornado threat, but I would think at this point it's going to stay pretty low. So almost will go as far as to say that we may see a little bit more in the way of marginal-esque severe thunderstorms with a higher ceiling for maybe some slight risk action to go along with it. So let's go and move this one more time, and then we'll see this, of course, move out. A little bit of remnant energy left over here towards North Carolina and Virginia that has to be watched as we go into Monday evening. And then a little bit of remnant energy towards the south as well. But by this point, a lot of the dynamics, especially with the kinematics, the wind profile itself, not really a lot that I would be concerned with from this point. So a couple other composite parameters we're going to look at here. Mainly really just one. We're going to look at the SIG Tour. Just kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with over these next 48 hours. Obviously tonight, like I said, over towards Oklahoma kind of piques my interest here. Let's go ahead and click this sounding, and there you go. Like I said, if it wasn't for this veer back, I would actually be more convinced that this would be a SIG Tour threat. Would you be safe in a hotel? Well, if I'm being honest, that really depends. I mean, if you live in a mobile home, then I would say I would take my chances with a hotel if you can afford it. If not, then I would stay in the house, because if a tree falls on a hotel, I mean, it's not going to be all that much different unless you're on the bottom floor. I mean, if it's a tornado, then it's pretty much the same thing. You're still going to want to be on the lowest floor possible to give yourself the best chance for safety. Still want to have the helmet on your head regardless. But yeah, if you're in a mobile home, then I would try to get out tomorrow if it's at all possible. Hopefully you won't. Idealistically, though, you wouldn't have to. But we'll just have to see what ends up happening over towards Macon. I'm going to actually go ahead and look at a sounding over there for Monday. Okay, here's that quad state regions where the parameters are pretty good. Haven't seen any PDS soundings for tomorrow from my most reliable models, so there's some good news there. It's all right. No, I'm just telling you how it is. Oh, you live around a bunch of trees. If there's a hotel that doesn't have a bunch of trees, I would maybe say go there. But like I said, I don't want you to unnecessarily waste money, because just like with any other severe event, there's always fail parameters. I kind of get what you're saying. So you live around a bunch of trees. That's a tough one to answer. If you can afford a hotel and it's what will make you more comfortable, feel free. But I don't know. I would feel bad if this event ended up busting and then you get nothing in your area. Then you spent that money for nothing. So it's a hard one for me to answer. Tough call for me to make. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Then definitely want to go. I would definitely say for comfort's sake, then go for a hotel. I just wanted to make sure I gave you the right advice. I didn't want to make someone spend money unnecessarily. That's just not something I'm looking to do. I would feel bad. Because I can forecast the weather all I want till I'm blue in the face, but Mother Nature's still going to do what she wants at the end of the day. Yeah, damaging winds are going to be a factor either way, so yeah, I guess hotel would probably be a good move. I would say hotel's an okay move. Wow. Oh, that's no problem, Renita. I'm here to try to help as best as I can. But yeah, try to see if they'll give you a bottom floor. If you're gonna check in, I would check in tomorrow night so that way you don't spend too much. Don't pay them more than you have to. Yeah, as far into the interior too is definitely another good play. And there's that southern mode kind of popping up here and there. Okay. Alright, so final look at these 3 days, and then we'll talk briefly about Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we'll kind of run along from that point and kind of go into coverage mode a bit. Also, I forgot to mention that there is a wintry side to this as well. If you want, depending on how the weather's going now, then maybe we'll talk about that too. But for right now, let's finish out what we have in front of us. So here are our storms for tonight. Like I said, if we get these storms to break through this cap here, we could be in business for some overnight tornadoes. It does look like the HRRR is kind of pushing for that to occur here, but it seems like it's going to be a very small window. I would say within the next couple of weeks. Next couple of weeks. Yep, that's how you know I've been focusing way too much on the long range. Next couple of hours. Jeez, imagine being under a tornado watch for 2 weeks straight. That's crazy. Here's that MCS that we were talking about, mesoscale convective system. This is going to be bringing in a lot of heavy rain over towards Missouri and parts of Arkansas throughout the day. Then, of course, we shift our attention towards that northern mode. Here's that air mass recovery that we're going to be paying close attention to. And then towards southern parts of Illinois seem to be where we have the best parameters for severe weather and tornadoes. Here is where we start to see some supercells popping up, and this looks like it would be mid-afternoon. Maybe this would be the time I would go live. I'm not entirely sure as of yet. I'm going to try to go live as late as I can, try to wait until these storms start to fire, so that way if I don't have to fight against that 12-hour wall, then that's what we'll do. And then just look at the activity that begins to occur as we get past sunset here. Incredible amount of activity, especially with this southern sector popping up here. Also, again, what I mentioned before about there being a linear mode here, this is it right here for that northern sector. So we end up seeing a broken segment that pops up early, and this is where your area comes into play, Emmanuel. I would say this is like mid-afternoon, maybe about 4 o'clock-ish, 5 o'clock-ish. That's when I would expect the storms to pop through. And then we see that southern mode come in as well. Oh, you as well, Christine. I'm still getting used to the area that you told me about over towards Bloomington. Yeah, there's a lot more of you here than I'm used to now, so I'm still adjusting. So if I forget your area, I apologize. But I'm grateful for that problem, but I promise you I will remember and I will get better. But yeah, right about, I would say 4 or 5 o'clock is your time. Then you might have some remnant rain that passes through after sunset too to go along with it. But all of that after like 7, 8 o'clock is going to be below severe limits most likely. You'll use up all that energy that you had available before. Here's that southern mode, and look at that line. That is impressive to look at. That's an impressive sight right there. Do see some embedded supercells within here. Messy convective mode, but any mergers could still pose a threat for tornadoes. Could bust by the time we get into the overnight hours here. That lack of instability may do it in. But then look at this solid line that we have popping up here. There may be an opportunity also, though, that I could sneak into work and maybe get a couple of hours of work in, but we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know. Even so, if we look like we're getting close to those storms, I might stay home. I don't know. And then here's that southern mode towards South Georgia and Florida. More so at this point now, I'd say. Maybe we could disinclude Alabama in that supercell, that potential supercell sector here. But you see this little bit of convection that pops up here. Any of these that mature could have an increased chance of tornadoes for a brief period. Then from this point, we shift our attention towards that northern mode. And then this is where we see that convection begin to flare up. It's where we start to see Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, Maryland start to come into play here. So increasingly active time frame here right around the time we would get into sunset for the region. Also, an interesting thing that I've caught on the reflectivity here is as we get into Monday, as we get from Sunday into Monday here, look at this atmospheric river that we have going on towards the northwest too. Mia, it looks like your time frame is going to be early to mid-afternoon. Yeah, that's a nasty little squall. Thankfully, I don't see any of those updraft streaks in there, so it looks like it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll have to see if this uptrends or downtrends or not. All right. So now that we've done that, now we're going to talk about Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe even the subsequent days afterwards. Like I said, this weather pattern as a whole just really seems like it's on some different stuff, man. It's just really intense as a whole. Oh, man. Alright, so here we go. Just waiting for this last part to load. We should be good. By the way, appreciate you all tuning in and kind of bearing with me through this. But here we go. So look at the GFS here. There's a new model run coming up for this soon, so this is going to be a little bit out of date. If there's any time frame during this stream where we're doing the coverage side of things, that's when we'll probably go over the new model data. Like I said, it's probably going to be a couple hours from now. Depending on how much of an influx of new data we get, I might go over everything. It all depends on the time in which this stream may yet end. But again, here's our trough. That's going to be our troublemaker for the weekend. Here's that reinforcing bit that comes into play for the deep south. And then from that point, here is our next trough. And this one is a stout joker here. Look at that. This has almost become wrapped up like a bombed out cyclone or even a strong to major hurricane here. Very tight pressure gradient on this southeastern side here. So along this sector, right around towards Chicago, all the way between this corridor between Chicago and Detroit could be our point of interest for severe weather. And there could be a southeastern mode with this as well. You kind of see this little tail that's popping up here. So could be another widespread event based off of what I'm saying for Wednesday. We'll watch this head out pretty quickly. Then we see another trough coming in right behind it. So the third into the fourth, we're going to be just as busy for the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. And then we'll probably start to shift our attention back towards the Northwest to close out the weekend. So in all honesty, this could be a setup where we could have maybe 6 to 7 days of live streams for severe weather on that alone. I've had stretches like these before, and it usually occurs around this time of year when I really think about it. So it's not surprising to see this, but it's never fun. It's always rough. Yeet. That's what that system on the second looked like. It was just yeeting everything out of here. And then we have this next cutoff low that kind of pops up over here. So a lot of troughing comes in, and this is where things kind of get interesting as well, because we have a little cold spat that seems to come in, and you can even see that cold air take a deep dive towards the south. So towards the end of this model run, even though this is well past no man's land, holy cow, even my area might drop below 32 during the afternoon of the 13th if this were to indeed verify. And then we have an even crazier looking trough as we get towards the 14th. So it's really, just simply put, it's almost like there's just no rest at all. And the craziest part about all of this is, it's the fact that we're dealing with a neutral Enzo here. But this is a pattern that seems almost very reminiscent of a La Nina. We'll get the temps in a minute. So a couple things I want to look at real quick, Christine, because that setup on the second might have you guys' name on it. In fact, it already does. So I want to make sure you're ahead of that. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now. It makes me think of that show Snowfall. I don't know if anyone's watched that or not. I actually liked it. I thought that was a really good show. If you're into a movie that shows, if you're into TV shows or TV series or movies that shows like Kingpin, that kind of goes over the life of kingpins and whatnot, that show does I think that show did a pretty good job. Okay, can't see anything clear on the shortwaves yet. Oh wait, there it is. Here it is. There's your shortwave, and there's your activity off to the southwest of it. So that's what you need to be watchful of. Okay, so with that, let's lock in on the shortwave here, or not the shortwave, LOJ. We're gonna get to the temperature in just a second, I promise. Whew, wow, look at that. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to watch. Y'all are gonna have to watch Thursday, like Wednesday into Thursday, real close. Severance, not sponsored. I got a lot of TV shows I need to catch up on, truthfully. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna try. I would have tried to do side by side here. I don't think it's gonna work this time around though. All right, so here is what our temperatures are looking like. Paradise, I've heard of Paradise. Haven't checked it out yet though. It was only maybe about 2 months ago where I started checking out Snowfall, and then I ended up kind of binge watching a lot of it. A couple key moments that I still haven't really figured out yet. Silo, all right. You're gonna have to make a list of those and just kind of like either DM them to me on Discord, and then or something like that, or maybe just put it in like main chat or something as stuff to recommend me watching. I don't know, because when I'm looking at weather models, I do have like a lot of background noise or something. Oh, I've heard a regular show. Okay, so Christine, I don't know if you're watching still, but here are the temps. As far as Sunday's concerned, don't really get all that warm. You kind of hang around about 65 to probably close to 70. Some areas around the local region may hit up to 70, but that's about it. After this storm system comes through, you don't really get all that cold. Maybe Tuesday morning gets a little chilly, but you're gonna bounce back pretty quickly. Then that warm sector hits you on the second, and then you guys are in business once again. After that point, you kind of looking like you're staying at about average at this point. After the 7th, that's when it gets a little bit chilly for a brief period, and maybe you get another cold shot to follow up right around the 10th. It looks like this is a phase where, when I was looking at the April outlook, where we kind of looked like we were in a negative NAO phase. So whenever you have that negative NAO phase or North Atlantic oscillation, more cold air tends to work its way into the eastern half of the U.S. So whenever I say negative NAO, just know that you can likely expect some cold weather. If it's not on you, it's going to be at least to the east of you. So that's the key term, negative NAO. You see a negative NAO, expect some cold. Warm sector so here's the warm sector as we head into the second here at this point. Look at that. Yeah, Manuel, if you do decide to chase this, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, your environment's looking stacked. That low-level jet was hitting about 50 to 60 to 70 knots pretty easily. You have a high pressure gradient. You have a low pressure with a very tight gradient around it. Looks like the ingredients are coming together. Frontal boundary. This is out ahead of the frontal boundary here. So if this look pans out, that's stacked for a tornado event. The way we're looking right now. So Tuesday looks like it could be, well, not Tuesday, but Wednesday looks like it could be a very busy day. Tuesday is kind of more on the marginal to slight side. But if these parameters were to pan out, especially as we get towards convective models, I wouldn't be surprised to see a moderate risk even get issued, which would be a level 4 out of 5. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into the parameters here with our instability. Obviously at this range, you never really get a good hammer on you never get like a great idea of what the cape's looking like just looking at this. That could be the one saving grace here. Cape isn't particularly high, but it's sufficient enough nonetheless. Let's look at this environment off to your southwest. Boom. Okay, well that says enough, really. A little bit of veer back, but not anything that would stop it. By the next frame, yep, there. Okay. Well, that says everything. That kind of confirms everything I was suspicious of. Confirms all of my suspicions, really. Yeah, this is an environment that could even produce violent tornadoes. So yeah, I'm watching Wednesday with extreme interest now. And then look at the instability that's available in the days ahead. The 3rd even looks busy. The 4th looks busy. Like I said, just the amount of energy that's going to be available is unheard of. Like I said, it really just looks like a time frame where there's just not going to be much rest. At least not till we get towards the 10th where things look like they're kind of slowing down. Keep in mind, though, further out in range we look at instability, tougher it gets. By the way, don't know if I made mention of it, but there is a new tornado watch that got issued over towards the Tulsa region. Oklahoma City right now, there's still a lot of questions left with that. But I think that might have been allowed to expire. Maybe they're thinking the capping is a bit too strong. Excuse me. Alright, so last thing we'll do before we go into coverage mode, and then we'll go on from there. Oh no, Monday looks like it's strictly our day, and then after that we're fine. So really, we're just left to get through Monday. Tuesday and beyond, not much of an issue. Wednesday could, or when not when. Well, wait, I got my days mixed up. Sheesh. Tuesday is the enhanced risk. So Wednesday, let's actually look and see. Yeah, I got all of my days mixed up. Okay, so here's Monday. Looks like the timing towards your area might be more so towards midday for Monday, and then Tuesday, obviously, we have some activity. In fact, it looks like we get spared on Wednesday too. Everything stays well off to our north. We don't even have a shower storm in our area, at least as of right now. So it looks like we're good. It looks like we're going to stay kind of dry, at least until the 6th after this storm system. So that's good news. Somewhat bad news too, though, because I would love for the rain to wash the pollen off of my car. Oh my gosh. Not a problem. I said I'm happy to answer these questions. Alright, so that's pretty much the weather pattern as a whole here is concerned on the severe weather side. There is a winter weather side to this as well. Just thought I'd make mention of that. I don't know if we're going to get a blizzard out of this one for the 2nd, but over here towards the Dakotas and also towards Minnesota might be a point of interest as well. So let's go to this most recent storm system. Interestingly enough, and I don't know if voice is still on here, but remember what we were talking about earlier in Discord? This is when you would look at that 850 and 700 temperature map whenever you see this pink on the screen here for the freezing rain. This is usually how you end up finding it without looking at the preset map. Look over towards this region. If you look over towards the mid to upper levels, you'll see the temperature difference. I'm actually going to click the sounding so you can see that too. If you look at the skew T, whenever you see this kind of bend off to the right, that's an increase in, that represents an increase in temperature. And then if you see it to the left, that's a decrease in temperature. So this is our mixing area right here, and then it refreezes at the surface. Yes, you are. You're seeing severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. There's one that's not too far away from Chickasha, as a matter of fact. I'm keeping an eye on the radar the whole time. Yep, it's over towards Chickasha. This is right about the time that it was forecasted too, so it's right on the mark. It's broad rotation right now, though. I wouldn't worry about it just yet. The fail parameter for your environment, by the way, is actually got a lot to do with convection. These storms are more than likely going to form in clusters. It'll be kind of spread out. But if they form on, but if the sections in which the cap breaks in are big enough, they're gonna kind of. It's gonna kind of. These storms are gonna kind of topple in on each other, and it's gonna result in a lot of destructive interference. So it seems like a lot of the rain-cooled air would go right into that updraft, and if you undercut the updraft, that tornado threat drops off. So it's a very conditional threat as to whether or not OKC gets tornadoes. The environment actually might be a little bit better over towards Tulsa. It's why they issued that new watch. Okay. Okay. So that's what we have on the second here. Yeah, I'm thinking the second might have severe weather and also a blizzard on the backside of that, along with even a cold core setup. So pretty crazy look there. And after that point, storm system after storm system just seems to just roll on through time and time again. Yeah, the storm motion is a little bit odd. Actually looks like it's a left turner. Usually left turners aren't as quick to produce tornadoes. It can happen. It has happened plenty of times. In fact, I think more more 2013 might have been a left turner. I don't know. Or a left splitter, but usually I would be looking for more of a right turn more often than not. Definitely not a guarantee though, but from what I'm seeing now though, it looks like she's trying to curve, so she may hit you with the updraft. She may hit you with hail. Hard to say. Yeah, definitely a northward component on the backside of this. I think there's some influence coming in from that low-level jet. All right, so end of the discussion, guys. We're gonna go into coverage mode here. I need to get something to drink here to get myself a little energy. Maybe even throw some cold water on my face. I am a little bit on the drowsy side, and that simply will not do. Alright, let's see if Justin's back live, if he's going to go for it. It doesn't look like he has yet. So, I guess we'll just be waiting. Okay, so no chaser on the screen right now, unfortunately, guys. But we will have music up. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch over now. Here's our current overview right now. If I can get this to stop. We have one considerable tag severe thunderstorm warning over here towards Texas, where the hail has gotten up to about golf ball size. And there's also 65 mile per hour winds to go with it. This is just outside of Dublin. This is gonna stay away from this might make a close pass to Granbury, but I wouldn't expect anything too significant towards the region. I don't know if Amputee's still here, but looks like y'all got away with very little in the way of impacts right now. Hopefully once this line passes, that should be it for you guys. It seems like a lot of the attention now at this point is going to be more so towards Oklahoma, maybe even parts of it, Missouri and Iowa as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some water real quick while things are still a little bit on the slower side. We're gonna keep this in a loop here and watch this go along here, see how things evolve. Almost kind of looks like a linear mode trying to develop with this, like this little tail we still have to watch. But I will be right back. This will not take long at all. Alright guys, I'm back. Okay. Okay, so here is the current situation with Oklahoma right now. We're watching for any sort of supercellular development, anything that can develop within this next hour or two. I would go as far as to say has the increased chance of maybe producing a tornado. I haven't seen much of anything super promising on radar as of right now. But we are going to be watching for this little splitter that's occurring over here just to the south of Chickasha and over towards Rush Springs. Both of these have severe thunderstorm warnings on them, and they're tagged for at least quarter-sized hail at this point. The other one off to the south does have, jeez, trying to click these while they're moving is cumbersome. The southern mode is pretty much the same thing. If we were to go ahead and look at rotation right now with both of these, doesn't look like there's a whole lot there, which is good news. We're hoping that it stays that way. Yeah, I haven't seen any clear-cut evidence as of yet, so there's some good news to be had. Let's go here, then we'll take it from there. I guess while I'm at it, I better get WeatherWise set up on the desktop version so we can make our lives a little easier. Where's my power rate at? Also, happy Saturday night to you all. This is Powerade, obviously, so yeah. Definitely wouldn't be drinking on stream. No alcohol, at least. But Powerade here. Cheers to all of you. Okay, so give me a second here while I do this real quick. I'm trying to see just how much WeatherWise is a month too. And then I also had to make like a whole bunch of space on my phone. I really don't want to have to take Discord back off, but if it comes down to it, I will. That makes one of us. What do you mean by that, Emmanuel? I don't know how well YouTube would fare if I decided to bring a beer on the stream. Not like I have any in the house right now anyway. I could get one, but I don't see a point in going out. Getting up and going out just for that. Oh, you've had a sip? Hey man, I hope you've enjoyed. Or you've had a sip. Nothing wrong with that. I ain't judging. Not in the slightest. If I was to take a sip of beer, you would not see me do it on stream. Alright, let's see if we can make this work here. Oh, that's not that much space. That's okay. Yeah. That'll work. Ha. Do the dab. And there's some people I know that do those as well. Like their little share of wax to go along with it. So, hey man. Not judging you. If that's what you like, that's what you like. Oh, Justin's live now? Okay. Good looking out, Blondie. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know why you can't. Manual. Alright, let's get Justin's feed up. And Justin unfortunately has a condition to where he can't do that. If you want to go to Justin's feed directly, by the way, I will be putting the link to that in chat. Be sure to show him some love, by the way. Make sure you hit that like button on his feed. Get that hit that subscribe button if you're new to his channel as well. Okay, here we go. That's Justin's feed right there. It'll take you to his channel as well. Like I said, make sure to show him some love. Hit that like button and that subscribe button to go along with it. That is Justin R with Wind Dancer Media. I just did too, so yeah, I just checked in with him. I'm gonna hit the, also, since I got a little moment here now, I'm gonna go ahead and hit up PA storm trackers too. Yeah, just trying to figure out how to balance all of this. All of this is so new to me. I will be live Sunday. That is a guarantee. Like, that isn't even a question. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to find a spot for where our storm chasers can go, where I can post up the storm chasers. Okay, let's see if we can get Justin R in there. Make sure I got the right link. So I can get these jumbled up all so easily. Okay, there we go. Now I got that done. Let's get that off the screen so you guys can see. Alright. Oh, dang it, I lost the link now. Why does it keep doing that? Stop it. There you go. It just kept on muting on its own, which was kind of weird. Alright, we got that fixed up now. Let's get weatherwise open. Jeez. Uh-oh. Did I lose his feed? Oh, I know what the issue is. Gotta shrink the window. There we go. Yeah, but again, make sure you guys tune in to Justin R's feed. Make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button too. I'll pin it up here so that way you guys can see it. Okay, there we go. Also, we do have a tornado possible tag, severe thunderstorm warning towards Dublin. So we're gonna be putting a little bit of focus on that. Have a good night, Christine. I'm just now seeing that message. Sorry, I'm doing 10 things at once right now. Did we lose his feed again? I have water ready, but I haven't eaten in a while. I don't know if I got time. Really, at this point, I kind of got what I got. Besides, it's not really good to be eating at like 10 o'clock. But yeah, really, I've just been busy the whole day, Blondie. That's really what the main issue has been. Anytime that I've started to sit down, then I've ended up having to do something else. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find anything. There we go. There we go. Got that now. Yeah, that should keep it continuous now, shouldn't it? There we go. Alright, now the screen should stay on there properly. Now, let's do this. Alright, accounts created finally. Alright. I appreciate that, Blondie. I'll get a snack in a second. I just needed a moment to finish up this setup with weatherwise here. And I think we're set now. Or we should be. Oh, that's fine if we can hear Justin. I mean, we're cleared to use his feed, so like he had hit me up earlier on Discord, so it's no issue. Or you can hear Justin, or you can't hear Justin. If you can't hear Justin, that's actually a problem. It's $6.99 a month, or it could be $1.99 a week. Obviously, I went with the monthly because, well, we know what the weather's going to be doing. It looks like for the rest of the month. All right, so we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is now including the Oklahoma City metro area. Moore is not included in this one, but we do have Yukon and Bethany in there as well, along with Bridge Creek and Newcastle as well. Tag with this severe thunderstorm warning is golf ball sized hail. Damaging wind threat is pretty low. This has confirmed golf ball sized hail at that point, so this is becoming a considerable severe thunderstorm. Yeah, this mode's kind of panning out just as I expected it would. Kind of a clustered mode. Nothing's really matured to the point where we would have to worry about anything forming into a tornado, but it is kind of breaking down a little bit. So I think as this passes the Oklahoma City metro, this might become more interesting here. Okay. Sorry, guys. Had to do that for just a moment. I apologize. Get that back up. There we go. I know you lying. There's no way that doesn't work. It must be a verification email or something I have to find. Okay, come on. Wouldn't that be something? Can't even use the freaking app. Come on, man. There's no way. Dang it. Bro, this is crazy. I don't know why I can't. How am I not able to log in? Okay, there we go. I think it was released yesterday. I think I just set mine up today, and that might be the bug. I hope that's not the case. That would be really frustrating because they took the payment. That's for sure. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Oh, that's a joke, man. Seriously? Yeah, I'm not getting anything from the email either, man. I don't know about this. Starting to feel a little uncertain now, man. Don't take my money and then I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'll keep trying, but I'm not too pleased right now. I sure hope so. I'm trying to have faith in them, but I'm not a good start. Not a good start. What I do remember is you're quick to take my money, that's for sure. I don't like that. Yeah. All right. Kind of getting mad. All right, let me stop thinking about it. This is just about to get me even more heated. Yeah, I've checked my spam folder. I've checked everything. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm not happy with this at all. I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm wondering if it's because of my desktop already having the website up, maybe? Give me a second here. Close this shit out. Reopen it. What the hell? Great way to ruin the stream. I don't think they want to get. I don't think they want me to get feedback right now. I really don't think they want me to do that. I really don't think they want me to get feedback right now because I'm about ready to rip them a new one. I was looking forward, man. I was looking forward to this. Now I'm pissed. So I'm like, come on, man. You're so quick to take that $7 out of my account. Okay. I'm not gonna input that here. Okay. All right. Haven't gotten it to work yet, but At least I got in contact with some more chasers. Trying to see if I could set up tomorrow. At the very least. If nothing else. Stay calm, stay calm. This is annoying. This right here is annoying. Dang, man. This is crazy. I don't get why. What the heck? Is it? It's case sensitive? Are you serious? My email's the case sensitive part? Okay, that's silly. But alright, I got it. The heck with it. Whatever. Oh boy. That was more of a process than it should have been. That was wild, man. Like all that just to... Yeah, for real. Finally. Okay, so now I gotta do this whole customization thing again. But I already like how the radar looks, at least. Alright. Alright, let's see how we can do this here. Sorry, you guys. That was a pain to get that working, but rather do it on a slower night like tonight versus a very active stream like what tomorrow's likely going to be. Yep, that was a carpet beetle, and I got him. Little dirtbag. Trying to land in my ear, man. What the hell? Why is stuff trying to annoy me tonight, man? It's in a good mood. Everything's trying to take me down. Don't get that. Okay, let's do this right here. Yep, it does. I'm messing around with it right now. Alright, so now I'm gonna have to reset the entire scene thing on OBS, but that shouldn't be much of an issue. Pretty much have gotten past the hard part now. A couple more things to customize my settings, and we should be good to go from there onward. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in Texas, by the way, that has 2-inch hail now. I think that's the Dublin storm. Dark mode. Okay, we're good. Alright, now for the next part. Okay, got that now. Alright, there we go. We're finally set up here. That took long enough. All that lets you know how little of a computer whiz I actually am here, but we took care of business now. We're back in the game. Yeah, we in there. Finally. Oh my goodness, that sucked. I did not enjoy that at all. And it was all because my email, I had one uppercase letter in it. Just like a few uppercase letters in it. I'm like, come on now. Otherwise, like, what the hell, man? What the hell? Yeah, I'm liking the picture though. Probably need to change the opacity just a little. Okay, so not worried about dark mode, map settings. We'll just make do with what we have here. It should be fine. Hey Mia, we just went through an arduous process, but now we have Weatherwise Plus. We're in the game for real now, finally. Had to go through it to get this set up, but now that we're in though, I like how it looks. The presentation is nice. Presentation is real nice. Oh, I didn't mean to widen the screen here. Get that back right. There we go. Excuse me. Ooh, I just realized something. I'm doing a little bit of digging around on Twitter right now, and it sounds like Convective Chronicles is out there chasing himself. That is awesome. I can't wait to be doing that too. Yeah, depending on how long this goes on for, depending on what happens in the next couple of hours, I might be going to bed too. Cause this doesn't have like a big window with it, so if these don't really do anything by say 12:30, I'm probably gonna call it a night so I can save my energy for tomorrow. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this, truthfully, but this was a good opportunity to at least kind of test out weather-wise. Once I got into plus, I should have probably ate something earlier, but it is what it is. Excuse me. No, really, it's starting now. But the thing is, like, these storms are all forming in like clusters. Yeah, the thing is, though, it's conditional because it's also got a pretty good cap over the region. So if these storms aren't able to evolve now, I don't know if they'll evolve at all. It could be one of those things, though, like you said, where it could end up being more prominent as we get later into the evening and into the overnight. If that happens, I'm going to be pissed. Isaiah, I said a few minutes ago I was hungry, and the first thing you do when you come in on stream is talk about food. Thanks! You are such a help. Such a big help. Also, we're looking at plus now. We have Weatherwise Plus officially. Tornado watch expires within 2 hours. The window's narrow, so we need something to happen. If something's gonna happen, it's gonna have to happen soon. Because we're just seeing the linear mode really starting to take over here at this point. You get split screen. The picture is a little cleaner on radar, which I've definitely noticed. I like that. You get the desktop version, so it's a little easier on my RAM usage. So this doesn't have to have its own separate window. And then on top of that, the lightning imagery is a little bit better too. So it's pretty nice, I'd say. It's only $6.99 a month, so there's that too. Or if you wanted to go week to week, you could do $1.99 a month, which is also a really cool feature as well. So far, I'm okay with it. Just, yeah, it's only $6.99 a month. $1.99 a week if you want to get technical. Oh yeah, I forgot you can use 3D radar. With Radar Omega, it was always too big. Like the, not the pause. That lets you know how tired I am. But Radar Omega, like, it was too much RAM, too much CPU that was being used up in order to really use 3D. I just wish there was a really strong storm here that had tornado potential to where we could go with 3D radar on here. Just doesn't really seem like it would be worthwhile with this look. But here's our split view right here. I like how they kept the layout simple. Oh, I know. Like I said, I'm gonna give this maybe an hour and see what it does. Tornado Watch itself only has about 2 hours and some change left over. So if nothing forms up soon, because the convective mode turns into clusters anyway after about midnight, I'm just gonna have to call it a night, as much as I may not want to. You won't win any awards with this game here. That's for sure. Okay, dark mode. Alright, so I gotta figure out how to get the 3D mode on here. Do I go this route, or is it map 1, map 2? Oh, okay, that's cool. Ah, there it is. Take off the split screen for now. Hey, hang on a minute. Might be onto something here. Okay. Yeah, it just kind of looks like a cone, but these storms are elevated. This storm is elevated though, Isaiah, so that's probably why. We'll see if it we'll see what it does come tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a few examples of some classic supercells possibly. Definitely some things that I've noticed with tomorrow's setup that definitely kind of leads me to be concerned. But yeah, we'll see what this 3D feature is really talking about by the time we get a good look at that. Oh, we just put ourselves over the ocean. We just put ourselves over the ocean. That's funny. Yeah, and I didn't really feel like my computer slowed up all that much, despite everything that I'm running right now. So that's also really encouraging in its own right. Oh wow, we ended all the way over towards the NAO, the North Atlantic Ocean, because of that little slip up. Oh God, what have we done? What have we done? Ah, help. Oh no. That's a blooper right there. Make sure you clip that. We're in outer space now. The asphyxiation is occurring. Oh no. All right, 3D radar, can you stop now, please? Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, cool. We can see the ice storm warnings too. No, we never got to do it, so we're just gonna do like a 4 year long compilation. Or 3 year long compilation. The goal is to do it by the end of the year. Just like the last couple times. Even though we absolutely and utterly failed. Yep. Unless. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a long one. Also, guys, have y'all subbed to Justin's channel yet? Yes, Waynesboro. There's plenty of ways. I have X or Twitter, whichever one you want to call it. I have Facebook. There's Discord, Instagram. Um, I think I have the. Let me check. Let me check if I have the socials command on Streamlab Spot. I hope I do. Do I have it? I hope it didn't get deleted somehow. Yeah, I guess we don't have the social stack. See if I have any commands though. I think I have them as one. I think I have it as like individual ones. All right, let's see. Do I have Twitter on here? Let me check all of my commands. Ah, there's something else I got to get rid of too. Then, huh? So, give me a second here. I'm gonna get all those links put kind of compiled together here. Or better yet, I'll just give Twitter. Twitter's kind of easy. All right, I'm gonna pin this. Here you go at Waynesboro. Here you go, Waynesboro weather. Here you go. Yeah, this has gone completely linear at this point. Appreciate that, Isaiah. Yeah. I wonder what Justin's feeling about tonight's setup. What's 4 years old? The channel? No, the channel's not 4, it's 3. You're talking about when I first got into weather. It was about 4. So, I think I've told the story on here before. Maybe I'll save that for the next Q&A. Oh no, the reason how I got into weather. It has something to do with actually more 1999. I wasn't a part of it, but it has something to do with it. Yep. Yep, the one where I put the marker to the TV and I got whooped for it. Still remember that one. Still remember that whooping. But yeah, I'll go into the... I was 4 years old, of course it hurt. What kind of question is that? Of course it hurt. Of course I was crying. I got hit with a freaking belt. Come on. At 4 years old, almost everything hurt. I'm not going into the details with that. Out here asking all the questions, man. Maybe I should ask you how many times did it hurt when you got whooped? A scale of 1 to 10, how badly did it hurt? It was a whooping. You know what it means. You know what it's like to get whooped. Come on now. Ask me how badly. Man, I tell you. Yeah, this has definitely gone linear. Holy cow. This could have some solid damaging winds though by the time it gets towards Tulsa though. That's exactly how I was done too growing up. But if you picked one that was too flimsy, they would make you go back out there and pick another one. Yep, that's how I grew up too. So I know what it is. But I have not forgotten either. I have not forgotten at all. How could I? Also, this is what the plus mode lightning strikes. Oh yeah, I know what corporal punishment is. That's wild. I was at the very tail end of that, but I never got whooped at school. No problem, Waynesboro. Also, we have our Discord server too. That I know we have as a command here. So yeah, if you have a Discord, all you have to do then is just DM me. Hey Grant, how you doing? Ooh, yikes. School music teacher just seemed to have it out for you, huh? I have a problem with that. Okay, it looks like Justin's getting close to something here. Or he's driving towards the storm complex here. Which area are you asking for, Grant? Because that answer may vary. Because I could give you which part of Indiana. Which part of Indiana are you asking about? Was that punishment for everyone else? I know when I had to sing, it made people. No, what he's saying, Waynesboro, is that he got whooped a lot by the school music teacher. And I don't know if you ever been hit by those paddles, man, but I tell you now, that hurts. Especially if you have those ones with the holes cut out in it. Get a little extra air in there. Not quite. Oh, nah. Hold on. If he was my neighbor, we would have been fighting. I don't care. I don't care if he was an adult. I don't care if he was my neighbor. I don't care if he was a teacher at that point. It's like, no. You not gonna whoop me in school and have it out for me and then just be across the street from me after that. I'm like, nah, I gotta get you. You got a problem with me, I got a problem with you now. No. Can't do that. We gotta settle this somehow. Cause you're not gonna keep whooping me. Then I gotta look at you. Nah, I would probably have been in jail if I went to school where you were. Cause I would have been fighting. I would have been fighting my teachers. At that point, I'm like, nah. There is no way. There's no way you're going to live across the street from me. Saying, yeah, I whooped that kid. And I whooped you. I'm going to be like, yeah, you may have whooped me in school, but outside of that, I got you too. Ganging. Oh, God. Yeah, you lived in a terrible area. That's wild, man. But nah. I wish I had a teacher that was a neighbor and had even the thought of trying to whoop me. And again, my mom probably wouldn't. I've heard of Corpus Christi. Ooh. Hold on a minute. Well, Grant, I'm black, so actually I can, but I don't really do that often. Either way. Oh gosh. Those. Also, I'm in also guys, I am in Justin R's chat. Feel free to join there too. Yeah, I mean, there's still problems with that to this day, but it's not as bad, thankfully. Voice is a little bit older than I am, so people I got bullied by sadly were of my own kind, which is worse. In a way, it was kind of worse because it's like, dang, what did I do to you guys? But let's not get into that because it always makes me upset thinking about other people being bullied in general, regardless of your skin color. It's bogus. Uh oh. I see you in there. I see you in there, voice. Guys, if you haven't checked out Justin R, he's one of the chasers that has actually allowed me to show his feeds from time to time. Be sure to show him some support. Um, oh, you're in northwestern Indiana. You're not as bad off. I mean, you still got a tornado threat and you got a wind threat with it, but it's not as bad as like if you were anywhere south of like Indy, of like Indianapolis. Then I would have been like, you might be in for a long afternoon and evening. Jesse Smith is saying that there's a rotating wall cloud close to the ground near Paul's Valley. That's actually in Texas, I think, if I remember correctly, because I know that name, Paul's Valley. Seems like Texas is more of the hot spot than Oklahoma tonight, which is kind of crazy to think about. Where is it? Ah, there it is. No, I get what you were saying. If Delphi is in northwestern Indiana, then you're in better shape. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you were over towards like that's all I was saying. If you were over towards Indy, then I would be a little bit more concerned. I'd be like, that's not gonna be fun. I mean, you're still gonna see some storms. You're likely to see some severe storms, but the worst weather is definitely gonna be off to your south and east. Who, me? What do you mean that you don't hear me talk much about what's happening? What? I'm always talking about it. You just aren't catching me when I do it. Also, everybody, make sure you're hitting that refresh button too. I guess I do put a lot of time in trying to make sure that I'm responding to chat. That's my name, dude. That's my name. That's literally my name. Okay. What was I doing here? Let's go to Pulse Valley again. Wish I could get a visual on that wall cloud. I don't know if we're gonna get any sort of DOT. Oh, they're not continuing. It looks like they're shrinking up that severe thunderstorm warning. All I see is you goof around with the map. Yeah, you don't tune into these streams enough, man. I'm just gonna tell you that now. You should tune in more. You'd see that you'd see me talking about stuff then. Hey, G bro. Yeah, he might be getting himself in trouble here in a second. I hate to say it. And the thing is, it might not even be by me because I'm still kind of chill about it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't think he's talking to anyone else. Mm-mm. Uh-oh. we're chill out here. All I gotta say is, don't put yourself on the spot here, okay? All right. Hey, Mickey, where you at? I don't know why you're saying someone who appreciates you. You're being really, you kind of doing a bit much. Enough of that. Gotcha, Isaiah. All right. Well, let's get back to it here. I wonder if he might have lost his feed here for a moment. There's some spots towards eastern Oklahoma where reception gets kind of sketch. Yeah, they don't play games out here, you know. Yeah, that was getting out of hand. I don't under. I was kind of lost as to what was going on there. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say that. All right, so we'll wait for 20. Oh God, no more buffering, man. Come on, we don't need that. We don't need that. Well, I guess we lost his feed. That sucks. Yeah, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't appreciate that either. It's kind of pitiful. I mean, but I'm not gonna gossip about someone on online. But yeah, that just some stuff. There was some stuff there that just didn't seem quite right. But yeah, I thought you guys were about to sick him. I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. Yeah, because I felt the mood change with I felt the mood change with you guys. I was like, uh-oh. I was thinking I might have to hide him in order to make sure, like, for his own good, because y'all was about to, like, womp on him or something. I was like, okay, don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's one thing about it. Yeah, it looks like for whatever reason we can't get Justin's feedback. Let's try and get back to it though. Yeah, he definitely seemed like he was demeaning my work though. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I did take offense to that one part where he did say that I don't ever see you on here. I was like, hey, you should actually tune in more instead of saying that, oh, I don't ever actually talk about weather. You just show the map and you just talk about other stuff. There's not a tornado warning going on right now, though. Like, come on, man. If you actually tuned in when it mattered, or if, I don't know. Let me stop before I go back on my own words. Cause I mean that was silly, dude. Yeah, we've been waiting. Yeah, I mean we've been waiting for over an hour to see if we even got a tornado warning. And I even talked about weather on here. Like I literally talked about the wall cloud that was over towards Paul's Valley. Like, come on, man. Get over yourself. Yeah, it looks like Justin's dealing with signal issues. It's just what I thought it was. I don't think his stream's necessarily ended, but I think he's in like a dead spot right now. Yeah, I'm just disappointed though. Yeah, exactly. What? I need to be high strung the whole time? No, I'm not gonna do that. At no point have I ever been like high strung and all tensed up like this in the channel during any point of my time here. And I'm not going to. So you can go somewhere, man. You can stay hidden as far as I'm concerned. Besides, I'm not like these other guys. I'm a little bit more unorthodox. So if there's nothing going on here and I don't see anything on radar that's threatening, I'm gonna take it easy. Cause tomorrow, you're gonna see me locked in then. When it's time, you're gonna see me locked in. Oh man. Oh man. Exactly, that's the point. I kind of want to come off as like relatable because really I am. Breathe and bleed. I breathe and bleed the same as anyone else. I just know a little bit more about weather. That's all. I mean, sheesh. Someone who appreciates me. All right. Enough talking. Enough talking. But geez, bro. What was the smoke detector like flashing in the window pane or something? Was there like a reflection of the light? Because I actually have a smoke detector, but it's on the other side of my room. I got the window to my right, and then to the left is where the smoke detector is. That's hilarious. That is actually hilarious. It's actually really funny. Because I could kind of see it now, and I could see how it would mess with me too. I'd be like, wait, what was that? Then I'd start looking again. I was like, why do I keep seeing? I'm like, oh, okay. And then probably about 10 minutes later, I'd fall for it again. But like that's really me. Like I can be a total klutz after talking about a whole severe weather setup. I mean, you sometimes still see me be a klutz because I stutter. Three times you looked at radar. I was like, "What is that?" Like you, like I know you kept it calm, but you were probably screaming like, "What is that? Why do I keep seeing this? Make it stop!" It's like, oh, wait, it's the smoke detector. Damn it! Then fall forward again. Then if it was me, I'd fall forward again about like 10 or 15 minutes later. But I got thunderstorms in my forecast. Why can't it be lightning? Excuse me. Honestly, yeah, I agree. I do get salty when it comes to not getting storms too. I just can't show that on stream, but sometimes whenever I'll have like a little dry slot over my area and the storm's weak, I just kind of have that Kevin Hart meme face. So just be like that, like something like that. That's me. Whenever that happens, I'll be super pissed about it. Like halfway ready to throw a freaking temper tantrum. Uh, uh. Okay. Well, since we're still kind of in limbo here at this point, waiting for a tornado warning, that, if I'm being honest, seems less and less likely to happen. I'm gonna post something to Discord, and I want your opinion. Is it real, or is it fake? Without looking at the post, I want your take on this. Is it real, or is it fake? Daggone it, Isaiah! He completely spoiled it. How did you know? Dang it, man. It's ruined now. I can't even post it now. No, I made mention of it on stream, and I'm sure the chat saw it. So now it's ruined. It can't be posted. It can't be posted. It is soiled. It's real. It's actually real. Because somebody else got a picture of it from another perspective. So it's real. It's 100% real. Soiled it. Soiled it. Yeah, I remember that from SpongeBob. SpongeBob used to be our thing when it came. Um. Yeah, I knew the reference immediately. I have the feeling that this next thing that I am gonna post, especially for the moderators, I feel like I'm gonna regret this. Okay, hold on a second. You already know what I'm about to say, Isaiah. Screw you, Isaiah. Screw you. Alright, so we're gonna hang out for probably another 5 minutes and that's it. Why would you. Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. I'm still showing 19. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys get to see an extra like. I want to see it too. What's up with that YouTube studio? What the hell, man? Oh my goodness. It's that bad? Sheesh. Now that's one thing I'm not sure about. One thing I mean I could try and calm people down on here, but even then that's hit or miss. If you can't even have them on TV. Dang. And she's only 6'2", so it's not like trying to teach her would really help. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one to answer, actually. Oh, you love watching storms. She hates them. Yeah, I don't know, G, bro. That's a tough one. I'm gonna look it up real quick. See if there's any ways that I can actually think of, like, helping with the storm trauma or storm phobia. Yeah, we're dropping frames left and right. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I guess we're gonna just exit out of his dead signal for now. Maybe that's what's dropping our frames. Okay. A lot of people are still saying that exposure therapy gradually helps you become more comfortable, which honestly that's what I was gonna say. Dang, but it's not gonna be immediate. That's the bad part about it. Maybe a stress ball or something might help. These are not the best options. There's not really much I can think of for a 6-year-old. It sucks. Uh, yeah, I think it's the thunder in particular that probably gets to her. Yeah, the best that I could really give you might be like a medicine. The best suggestion that I can give you might be like a medicine ball. Or not a medicine ball, but like a stress ball or something. Something like some kind of activity that she would enjoy would probably help. That's really the only thing I can think of. I wish there was more I could do to help, but I don't really know what to do in that case. I can break down the weather, but I don't know how to help someone with their phobia. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Sorry, guys, that it was a slow one. I just wanted to be on standby in case something did happen. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like it could be a bigger day, a much bigger day potentially. So, with that in mind, everybody have a good night, and I will see you soon. Bye. No problem, G bro. I tried to help. Hopefully you have some results in the near future with that. Yes, we do, Isaiah. We do have days ahead of us. Hi, IBS. We're calling it a night here. Grant was saying some off the wall stuff, that's why. Alright, thanks for staying tuned, voice. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about that another time. We can talk about that tomorrow if you want. But you might want to ask Grant what he had said. If you read the comments, then you should be able to figure it out. But anyways, everybody have a good night.